Good morning, and let me thank members of the media for coming out so early on a Sunday morning. I think it's important that I make an attempt to correct a lot of misinformation and misgivings that is out in the public domain in regards to the announcements that I made in Parliament re the opening of certain entities. I announced in Parliament the reopening of theatres, cinemas and playhouses, and limited dining in restaurants across the country. In making the announcement, I made the point that only these entities will be allowed to open, observing the strict guidelines that has been laid down by the government in regards to containing the spread of COVID-19. Many persons perhaps misunderstood what I said. Restaurants for the purpose of dining only, not to be mixed with music and then transform into a party like what is being done in several locations across the corporate area and in other sections of the country. There are some real concerns, and what this means is that the government will have to rethink its position as it relates to the operations of these entities. I want to be very specific in the concerns that we have. Devon House, which is a very important entity in the country, has been operating outside of the protocols that have been outlined by the government in regards to its operation. The Reggae Mill, based on information that we have gathered, has been operating for almost 5 weeks, every weekend, with numerous parties, with hundreds of persons not observing the social distance. A video has gone viral over this weekend showing Reggae Mill at Devon House operating long after the curfew hours was passed. It is clear that there is little appreciation for the rules that have been laid out by the government. No social distancing was observed. And therefore, Devon House officially will have to close its doors until we are satisfied that they have complied fully with the protocols that are set out by the government as it relates to social distancing and observing those protocols in the way that it ought to. So officially, we are closing Devon House effective tomorrow until we are satisfied that Devon House will comply with the protocols as laid out. Secondly, we have noticed advertisements being placed on Instagram and other social media pages advising persons of opening of entertainment facilities in Portmore. I want to be precise. There is an arcade in Portmore that goes by the name of Buzzers Arcade. And they have been advertising now for the last week that they are opening their doors this weekend to facilitate patrons, including children, for rides and other means of entertainment. I want to make it quite clear, ladies and gentlemen, that there is no order that permits the operations of such entity that offer rides and that sort of facility anywhere in Jamaica. Entertainment as it stands is still on the ban list of activities that is to take place across the country. I have advised the Commissioner of Police of these locations, and I've spoken with the Mayor of Portmore and has asked for his intervention on this matter. It is clear that persons are misusing the orders that was issued, especially for the opening of restaurants. And I want to make it clear that wherever we find a restaurant is operating as a restaurant and a nightclub where party and music is being played, then we will close those facilities with immediate effect. Many Jamaicans are concerned about what is taking place. And it is because of the concerns Jamaicans why many of this information has been brought to the attention of the government. As I said before, entertainment is not yet on the list of approved areas for opening. On Friday, Thursday, we met with the entertainment sector here at the ministry to look at how we will deal with the possible reopening of the entertainment sector. We had members of the promoting arm, we had sound system operators, we had promoters from all walks of life, people representing theaters was present at the meeting on Thursday, where we discussed at length what are the options that are available for the government to consider. Those meetings were very, very successful, and we will continue those discussions come next week, Thursday. But under the present condition that we are now facing, it is clear that the government will have to reconsider any consideration for the opening of the entertainment sector under these present circumstances, because what we are seeing is only courting danger. And we cannot afford as a country to lose the gains that we have made in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic in Jamaica. I want to appeal to Jamaicans to let us consider our brothers and our sisters. We can't be selfish in this pursuit. While I understand that there are many livelihoods that are affected by the actions, it is not just the livelihood that is important. It is the lives that are important. And if you look at what is happening in other countries who have opened up their entertainment sector, they are seeing a spike in the many cases of coronavirus in their country. And we don't want to be like other countries. I urge those persons who continue to be in violation of the protocols to desist, because if you don't, you are putting an entire industry in danger. I can only use this medium to say to those persons, please understand and let us work together. We're closing the entire Devon House because the management of Devon House is complicit in allowing those events to have taken place and without putting a stop to it. So the order is for the entire Devon House complex to be closed, because the discussions around those entities was not held. And while the beaches were closed for a considerable period of time, some of these entities did not close. They operate under the dark. And it is now coming out to light. And now what we are now seeing is where many Jamaicans, and let me just make the point, that there is the feeling that the government is facilitating uptown entertainment while pressuring those on the lower level. I want to say that there is no two order that exists. There is one order, and the one order that have been laid out goes for every aspect of Jamaican life. Well, let us put it this way. They would have to convince me that they are in full compliance of the protocol. You know, there are locations on Belmont Road, Old Hope Road, in Barbican, that are operating outside of the guidelines that have been set. And the Commissioner of Police have been provided a list of all those entities that are operating in violation. And once you are closed, then it means the only way that you can reopen is that you have to convince the authority that you will comply with the protocols that have been laid out. And those instructions were passed out to them on Friday, following a virtual meeting with all mayors. And as I said before, the mayor of Kingston brought this matter to my attention, and also the mayor of Portmore will be dealing with the issue in Portmore. So it is a collective response to what is taking place across the various municipalities that we are reacting to. And as I said before, all we are asking persons to do is to comply with the stipulation. So if you are allowed to operate within the guidelines, not to have hundreds of people partying till the wee hours of the morning, ignoring the curfew rules, without a mask, without any form of protocol whatsoever. And we're not going to put up with it. Remember, you know, what I said in Parliament on Tuesday, and the government maintains the stance. Whenever we take a decision to reopen any entity of entertainment or any other such entity across the country, it is based on consultations with the Ministry of Health. We're talking about using rides where individuals have to be sharing these rides. And I don't think people understand what we're talking about. So right now, the entertainment industry is not on the cards for reopening. We are discussing. The Prime Minister gave a commitment that we will talk, and we have been talking. The discussions have gone a far way. And it would be disappointing that persons, for their own selfish means, would want to derail the discussions that have been taking place in regards to the entertainment industry.